Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope. Whether the people will be said and they make Nigerians go different directions, there is hope for a new Nigeria, and clearly a new Nigeria is possible. Today, wherever you guys are watching us from, a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone, we have come to have a discussion this evening concerning what is happening, especially what is happening in the northern region that our P2B, His Excellency, has been talking about. We talked about the Basland, but what is happening in Katsina State? 3 different protests at a time. 3 different protests. We are coming up with that. We have the children who are protesting. We have the bandit-stricken village that is protesting, and we also have the people who are protesting against the customs in Katsina State, leading to all the about 6 different routes to Niger Republic. All protests in Kano State happening. We'll bring that up. Then we also have a breaking this evening coming out from the United Arab Emirates that they have lifted the ban on visa services for Nigerians. So it's a good news coming up, and we'll have discussions on that as we have started hearing rumors that the next thing it will be coming out from the presidency that they have done it as usual. So we'll be coming up with that. Plus, the plane that actually landed in the bush and all on board survived. That is also coming up, but that happened in South Africa. But of course, they are our brothers and our neighbors, so we thank God for them that they were able to crash land safely, and all crew and passengers on board came out safely. So we thank God for that. So we'll be moving on all the other things that concerns the economic hardship that is happening in Nigeria as protesters again hit in Minna State today. And that very protest, as we get reports coming in from that side, police were not able to prevent people. They were just there, and at the end they had to shoot. And shooting up, probably not shooting at people, but shooting up. All of this we have to discuss, and I'm not the only one to discuss that. I have Divine in the studio.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
So as you join us now, wherever you dey, just like and share so that other obedience will know that Obedient Family TV is live. So let's start with what is happening at Minna's. Hardship bites hard in Nigeria. Every day we keep bringing that up because that is what is happening. That is a phenomenon. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Hardship is everywhere. People cannot afford their daily meal. And again, that particular protest that happened in Abuja, where the looting, according to them, hoodlums and all of that, there is another dimension of that very particular protest, the carrying of bags of rice and grain from the Nema warehouse that happened that were not evident until we are able to see that from the perspective of the government or people who in Abuja, the minister went there, the other people, that the hardship goes so bad that even the people who went to this government warehouse not just carry the foodstuffs out, but they also took off the roof with them. Not just the roof was not enough. They took out the doors, the windows, and everything that has to do with this warehouse. Let's take a look at that and let's listen to what they have to say.
What is left of the warehouse belonging to the Federal Capital Territories Department of Agriculture and Rural Development in the Karimo area of the nation's capital after the facility was looted in the early hours of Sunday, March 3, 2024. The FCTA Minister of State visits the facility in the company of officials of the Federal Capital Development Authority to assess the level of damage. The minister gives a breakdown of the items looted.
Hoodlums attacked this very warehouse and packed everything right here, including the grains, not only the food items that are here, including the roofings, windows, and even the gates of this space and offices were all attacked. Due to the nature of the situation in the country, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, gave us a mandate to distribute palliatives to all the area councils in FCT. And we were there. We did distribution about twice. And then about to do the third one where these trucks were here to offload these food items, and then they were attacked. Some were even injured. This is really a bad situation, and it's not something that we take it lightly. All those that are involved must be brought to book.
Already, 15 suspects have been arrested for their involvement in the incident, while some exhibits have been recovered, including foodstuff and other vandalized items. An early attempt on another warehouse in the Idu area of the nation's capital was foiled, and 5 persons were arrested by officials of the Nigerian army. The minister refutes claims of food hoarding and pledges to reinforce security presence in the warehouse.
This food is for them. Nobody is going to take it away from them, but it has to be done in an according manner. But the way this thing happened actually beyond hunger.
Rush, come here.
Meanwhile, the FCTA administration has denied reports of fresh attacks on truckload of food, explaining that the attacks seen in the viral video on Monday morning did not emanate from the FCT.
Fine, let's dive direct into this very particular matter. What I observed from their presentation here is what obviously we are not even seeing as at yesterday. We saw that people were carrying rice, beans, bags, and all of those things, spaghetti checking out from that very warehouse. But we never saw the side of the removing of the roof and removing of the door. Has it gotten so bad? But if I may ask, somebody who took his time to remove the zinc or the roofing of a warehouse, you mean there is no police that knew that something like that had happened in that area to even protect further removal or vandalization of this facility?
Well, from what we can see in the video, it looks like this warehouse was situated at the outskirts of FCT, right? But that's besides the point. I'm more bothered about the 15 people who were actually arrested. Hopefully they let them go, because we all know that what they did is wrong, but we understand that it is hunger that has driven them, or rather that's driven them to act like this, right? Vandalization of public property is never going to be tolerated, but at the same time it is due to the negligence of the government, and that is why they've reduced their citizens to common thieves now, and that is what it is, and it's just really very, very sad to see. Yeah,
but look at it from the other side of it, which is, if we leave out the issue of I don't mind people going to government warehouse and cutting away rice, beans because they are hungry. Why go to the extent of even taking out the roof, taking out the door? I mean, that of course I can say is criminal.
Well, that's probably their way of venting, or rather the government, to be very honest, because I genuinely think there are probably some form of vendetta in the Nigerian, the average Nigerian against the government. So I guess they just saw an opportunity to probably get a pound back, and they were like, you know what, aside just taking this food, we're going to do something, which is not very rational, but at the same time, I think that was what it was about.
Okay, then for those of you, whether you've participated in this or not, and if you are watching out now, that is very, very wrong, especially going after the roof, the doors, the windows of a warehouse. That is entirely wrong. And coming back again, I heard one man who said that his warehouse was also vandalized, and it's a personal warehouse. He lost good of over 120 million in the warehouse. He was actually going house to house searching for his goods, that the police were nowhere to be found.
Well, such reports, I didn't hear of that, but if that's what truly happened, it's really sad to see, because like Aisha Yusufu said, to get to a point, they won't know the difference between government-owned warehouses and private warehouses. So apologies to whoever it was that had to bear that huge loss. And like we said, the government should just do right by Nigerians, so we can as well just put this sad thing of vandalizing people's properties behind us.
And this one happening today again, that has to deal with in Minna, still on hardship.
Right.
People protesting all over again, because we had several coming out from there when it hit Suleja, that was also in Minna, and again in Minna they all started again this morning doing the same protest. Would this be going on and still no action is being taken by the government, even their governor, you understand me? Because at least something should be done that will make people stay off the streets on this kind of protest, as if they enjoy watching people doing this protest or something. Is it until it gets violent before they'll listen and do something about it?
Well, it's not until it gets violence, but even if it does, I don't think the Nigerian government actually cares about that. But there's a new perspective I want to bring to this, protests going all around in the north. I think the reason why they're not taking them as serious, right, is probably because it's looking like they are playing tribal politics. Because when Buhari, their brother, was on seat rather, and things were getting really, really bad, surprisingly they were very quiet. And so every day we see breakouts, even though truly what they are protesting for is the current reality of the average Nigerian. But I think that's the reason why it's not getting as much attention as it should get, because it looks like, oh, while it was getting worse, just because it was your brother that was the president, you were just very silent about it. And so yes, what they're protesting for is true. There is hunger in the land, but at the same time, it's looking like they select who they, protest against and stuff. And
we never can tell whether it is because of this very hunger and hardship in the country that the UAE decided to lift the ban on visa services. Though they have positioned some stringent rules on application of our visas for all Nigerians. But the important thing again is that they have lifted it, and now Nigerians can apply to get visa to go to Dubai and other Emirate regions. So that is coming out today, and we believe that it's going to help a lot of people who have maybe little money, because Dubai is not too far away, or rather Dubai is not where you spend so much money to go to, as the case might be, for those people who are looking at the hardship that the country is facing. So maybe, just maybe, Dubai looks at it from the hardship side of it and say maybe Nigerians could come and relax in Dubai. What do you think?
Well, to be very honest, I want to correct something about you saying it's not a lot of money to go to Dubai currently. If we are going by the current exchange rates, it is going to be a whole lot of money. And I think, like you rightly said, maybe this is them probably just out of pity letting Nigerians, off the hook and telling us it's okay, you can come when you want. But at the same time, if you have plans of going to Dubai, the door is open now, and we're glad to see that this, ban has been lifted. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so for those of us who wish to travel to Dubai, they have resumed the services. You are at liberty to visit their portal and see their requirements and all of that. But again, we are waiting between tomorrow or next. We are going to hear somebody like Juri Agorero or whatever his name is, Anti-Tinubu, who will come out to tell us that it is Tinubu's making. They said that some time ago that they have reviewed the visa and Emirates will come to Nigeria and all of that. But now I think it's the time for them to shout, "Hula, we have done it," sort of.
Well, of course, they are going to come with the whole propaganda of we did this, or maybe blame it on this current Qatar visit and claim because it's in the Asian region now. So who knows? Because there's really nothing I'll put past the APC government. They're going to say anything just to get the credit. And sincerely, I don't really, it's less of my concern who takes the credit. I'm just grateful to see that at least we've gotten the ban off, Nigerians and people who are willing to travel, because they did not just ban when they placed the ban on Nigerians. They, they suspended every procession that had to do with the visas and all of that, and a whole lot of Nigerians had already put money into, you know, processing their visa there. So I'm just glad to see that eventually
a lot of people were trapped. So if they wish to take the credit for getting the visa process services on back, I mean, like you said, they should go ahead and take it. So that will be on that. And let's even look at what is happening in Katsina, because Buhari, everybody keeps saying that Buhari happens to be the man that has put Nigeria into this quagmire. Whether you call it financial hunger quagmire, everything that revolves around Nigeria, they are all pushing it back to Buhari. Now Buhari is no longer in he should be somewhere in Daura, enjoying himself and all that. But news coming out from Katsina State today is not good at all. Right. 3 different protests happening in Katsina State. We have the people who are protesting against the bandits that has hit different times, you know, killed several people, or, you know, sacked villages. Then we have the children who are protesting against their parents that has been butchered by the bandits. And then we have again the Kano people who are protesting against the customs extortion. Right. Still inside Kano is Katsina, so to speak. So what's your take on this as we progress?
Well, I'm going to talk about most recently the alleged extortions by custom officials in Katsina. We've been on the case of customs and what they've been doing over the last weekend, from the IBTC saga to the top NTS officials who were indicted in a 12 billion bribe. And now to go back to see that it has gotten so bad that now people have to come out with placards telling them to stop. The man said, one of the people protesting went ahead to say they've even taxed things as common as a bag of cement, which is locally produced here. So it's no longer it's not import duty again. This is just people just standing and having checkpoints and insisting that before you are going to get your goods, you will pay up. So they put a charge of 300 naira on 1 bag of cement. And so it's just sad to see, because now imports have been supposedly closed, right? And now people are just, you know, trying to get food and get their goods from neighboring communities, and yet you still stay and try to tax them on it, which is just very appalling. So as we're talking about the ogas at the top who are actually looting billions and billions, let's also talk about the people who are doing it on a lower scale. The
people that are the borders are right. That very, I think Katsina has like 6 or 8 borders that housed us with Niger Republic. 6. And looking at it from that side of it, it's like they're setting up roadblocks like the keke, like the police does to keke. Right. So any keke that is passing usually pay either 100 or 200 naira thereabout. Right. So they have set up blocks that whatever you are taking crossing from the main town of Katsina, you have to pay a certain amount of money, and they are now protesting that this very thing is actually the same Nigeria and they should not be paying an extra duty. Right. But before we, like you rightly mentioned, people at the highest hierarchy of the Nigeria Customs Service has been indicted. And I think there is a video of this that I think our producers need to produce, so that we also hear what has been said about the customs of late, and no action has been taken. Let's take a listen to that.
As the Nigerian government grapples with revenue challenges, custom officials rake in billions for themselves while sabotaging the government's policies they were supposed to protect. At least 40 NCS personnel, most of them in the service's highest hierarchy, have been indicted in a robust EFCC investigation into the proceeds of bribes paid to custom officials by smugglers importing and exporting contraband goods through the Nigerian borders. At least 7 of these officials were detained by the EFCC for days late last year, with some of them spending the festive period in detention, when proceeds of bribes allegedly from smugglers totaling over 12 billion naira were traced to them. Some of these officials amassed the largest tranche of these bribes from smugglers last year after the directives to close the Nigerian-Niger border by the Nigerian government as part of ECOWAS sanctions against the military junta that deposed Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum. The smugglers pay bribes directly or through agents' designated accounts of the Nigerian Customs Service officials. Of the 7 identified officers worked in Zone B, while one officer, to whom more than 80% of the 12 billion naira was traced to, works in Zone C, Port Harcourt. One of the arrested officer, the NCS Area Controller Zone B, Kaduna, Ibrahim Jallo, was found with $31,200 and 500,000 naira in cash when arrested. But the EFCC also traced suspected proceeds of bribes from smugglers totaling 1.1 billion naira to Mr. Jallo. It was also revealed that the officer promptly refunded 250 million naira with a promise to refund the balance. The EFCC also traced 126 million naira to Mr. Jallo's personal assistant, Umar Tafaraki. He has also refunded 12 million naira. Another officer involved in this saga is Kayode Kolade, the Controller Federal Operations Unit, Zone C, Port Harcourt. The anti-graft agency traced 9.5 billion naira suspected to be bribes from smugglers to him, all of which he was said to have received personally and through proxies between 2015 and 2023. He has refunded 50 million naira and committed to refund 800 million naira within a short period. Another indicted officer, Nuruddin Musa, is the Controller of Enforcement, Kaduna Zone. The EFCC traced 950 million naira to him. The anti-graft agency has recovered 583 million naira from him after he spent days in detention. He has also promised to refund the rest. Meanwhile, Hamisu Ibrahim, the officer in charge of operations, Zone B, Kaduna, was suspected to have garnered 120 million naira in bribes from smugglers between 2019 and 2023. As of January, he has refunded 13 million naira and promised to refund the rest. Madugu Sali and Mohammed Rabiu were suspected to have received 85 million naira and 84 million naira respectively from smugglers. Mr. Sali has refunded 13.5 million naira and promised to refund the rest. Mr. Rabiu, the officer in charge of patrol on the Aganga Road, Jibia Road, refunded 15 million naira to the anti-graft agency.
This is coming from Premium Times, a publication of Premium Times. And what really baffles me is that this very news is not something that keeps repeating, keeps coming up every day, and as if no action can be taken. Is that how low we have gotten in Nigeria?
Well, these people, they said they spent, first of all, I need to talk about EFCC because we know that EFCC has a history of not being accountable to all the money or for all the money that they supposedly retrieve from these people they accuse of fraud. We'll come to the customs people later, but I just want to talk about it because there's no actual, because when you're saying this person refunded this so million, refunded this other million, there should be some kind of, you know, accountability for, oh, this is all the money we were able to recover from these people and this is what we've used it to do. But that's besides the point. Now, about the customs officials, 40 top serving custom officials, and it's just sad that not even one among all of these people that were indicted is standing trial, is even arrested or even prosecuted. Nothing. We're just having it as a conversation.
They are still wearing their uniforms. They are still in their offices. That's the point.
It's just very, very... it just shows that I don't really take this government seriously, to be very honest, because every time they say something, it just looks like they say it just so it looks like they're saying something. We have 40 people who have even refunded. To refund it means that you're admitting that there's this amount of money, or you spent so amount of money, or you collected so amount of money as bribe. But to just sit there, and then you seen the exchange rate, collected 9.5 billion and returned 15 million, is insane. They're still in billions and they return in millions, not even up to double digits millions. We're talking, 5 million and co.
But when somebody takes something that belongs to the government as we speak,
right,
and again, the person has actually accepted. By returning some portion of the money, the person clearly has agreed. Even if there is a plea bargain, there must be an indictment. Even if there is a plea bargain, these same people are not supposed to be in an office. Go to comment section, tell us your thoughts. If these custom officers have been arrested and they agree to return this specified amount of money coming from premium times, don't you think that they are supposed to be relieved from the service going forward? Please go to the comment section and tell you, and I will tell you, Divine, this is one of the things that reminds me of what Peter Obi, His Excellency, said about him not being desperate to be president, but rather he wants to see Nigerian work. Let's even take a listen to His Excellency, how he said that.
I've said it just every day. I am not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see Nigeria fight poverty. And I listened to what the keynote speakers said today. And you could see it in my tweet yesterday. We have no reason being part of poverty in the world, especially in the North. The North have no reason to be poor. We will make more money in this country from agriculture than we make from oil any day, anytime. Because it's happening everywhere. I read yesterday that Ukraine is giving Nigeria grain. Ukraine is at war. The whole of northern Nigeria is 268,000 square kilometers. Ukraine is 603,000 square kilometers. They have no reason to give us grain. Because we have the land. Why are they giving us grain? Because 60% of their land is cultivated, 60% of our own is uncultivated. And the people even say it's for Northeast. I might be governor of Niger State is here. Niger State can feed Nigeria. Niger can feed Africa. Niger State is occupying 76.3 thousand square kilometers of land. They can feed Nigeria. Netherlands, with 33,000 square kilometers, which Niger State is twice, exported last year $25 billion of agricultural products. Niger State can do 5% of that, which is 6 billion. They don't need to come to Abuja. Northeast is collapsing. They say there's a problem in the Northeast. It shouldn't be. The two biggest states in Northeast, Borno and Taraba combined, Borno alone is over 70,000 square kilometers. Taraba is 54,000. Two of them combined is 125,000 square kilometers, 4 times the size of Belgium, at 30,000 square kilometers. And Belgium is doing over 20 billion export. There's so much we can do with this country. Let people stop wasting everybody's time and put these young people that are giving us problems in terms of criminality out of poverty, and you reduce criminality.
Man where majority of Nigerian vote be this. Now the man where sabi, the man where they show road, now him be this. Even when they talk and with passion, you go no say, now the person will be say go make Nigeria come right. But we are looking at 2027. All we are redefining our options. I be, say me when I don't come this side, it don't sweet me before verse they catch me. But whenever I hear Peter Obi speak, it's enlightening. You understand? It gives me hope.
Right. Well, it reminds me of during the campaign when Tinubu asked the question, as a way to mock His Excellency P2B when he said, "Now statistics we go chop," and it's just laughable. Now, just remembering it here, I'm laughing because it's like, assuming he was president, or they allowed him become president, allowed the will of the people to prevail, and he was president. If not for anything, at least we'll be eating these statistics, this at least this conciseness, this preciseness that he has when he's speaking. Which of our current, political, appointees under the APC government can actually sit down, address a crowd, or rather just stand and address a crowd with fact-checked statistics and actually make sense? Now, we're not talking about what he's saying and the fact that it's true that Nigeria can actually...
Those things are doable. Most of what he's saying, they are doable.
We're just focusing on the fact that, first, if not for anything, the eloquence in which he's speaking, he's able to actually articulate his thoughts, not those ones that come out and say whatever, and we have to, struggle or to hear them stutter, right? But that's besides the point. And truly, Nigeria is actually bigger than Netherlands, and every year, these people have a lot of money come into their, nation's coffers just off the fact that they utilized their land properly. But here in Nigeria, we're doing nothing to actually alleviate the current state of the country or the hunger. Instead, our president is actually bothered about, traveling and making very bogus statements like the one he said he was trying to, implement the Oronsai report. Well, very big kudos to His Excellency P2B for being, a leader and somebody we can actually count on, someone who can actually look up to. And that's why they gave him an award, and that's why he was
the Politician of the Year award. I think he deserved that. He deserved more than that, exactly. And I think when I look at it from this perspective that you took, I see that the Executive Council and all the people who are in this cabinet, they are not really looking at it from the perspective of how can you reduce the rate of hunger. It's not by palliatives. I'm looking at it from palliatives cannot help out. Dishing out food stamps and all of those things that they are planning, that is a short term. Right. But what do you have in plans as a long term? I've not heard how many people have been mobilized to go into farming in so area. I've not heard about several the tractors that have arrived. Do you understand me? And we are working towards the rainy season where agriculture is actually going to be of essence.
Well, to be honest, with the increase of hunger in the land and the lackadaisical attitude of the APC and the Tinubu-led government concerning it, I think it's really just two things that's possible. It's either they are genuinely clueless on how to, run the country, which is very laughable because every day His Excellency P2B goes on both his Twitter platform, or rather X platform, giving these people different leadership nuggets, right? It's either that or they genuinely don't care, or it is a mixture of both, because with all the expo this man has given them, right, and told them, okay, even if, let's agree, you snatched it, you ran with it, and you did all of that, have given you expo. Like he said, he's not desperate to become president, he's just desperate to see the country work. So even if somehow you were unable to action these things from your own, mental capacity, can you at least listen to this man?
To other people.
And then, implement what he's saying. They're just, I don't know, I think they're just here to amass wealth and, Emilokon, like they actually said.
Well, there are some people who are actually talking on X about, when Bola Tinubu talks about snatching it, running with it, and all of that, that what is actually happening in the street is that people are actually going to warehouses, stopping trucks on the road, they are snatching it, and you're running it. He said that, he mentioned food when he talked about this. He said that power is not served in a restaurant a la carte. You understand? So, I mean, they all match when I see people who talk about that, they snatch the food from the warehouses, they run with it. Now, not that I support people to go and loot government warehouses, but the food is even said not for sale. Obviously, it's not for sale.
Like you rightly said, they are doing what their principal asked them to do. After all, he told them they should snatch it, grab it, and run with it. And it's not a good thing, but they are really just snatching it.
They are just doing what? The prescription, the mandate.
Right.
That's what they are doing. Anyway, I think give us your thoughts on all about this. We know, of course, that a jury is going to come out to talk about the visa as part of the things that they catch. We're not looking up to that because we know they have decided to leave these services. For those people who want to travel to United Arab Emirates, go to their site, look at the regulations that they are implementing now, and see how you want to travel if you wish to travel. And we hope that Emirates will also start coming in and going. So with that, I think our time really don't they give us signal, and signal say make we carry waiting, we carry come studio begin they go. But as you don't watch reach this very time, I beg make you like and share, make other people know say it they happen. While we continue to wait and redefining our options for 2027, Bola Tinubu has made it very, very clear, abundantly clear, that they are waiting for 2027. And that 2027, the preparation for us must start now. Please, let us put our hands together and then redefine our options. Let the conversation continue. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.
Refuse to be told that this is Nigeria, meaning this is a place where nothing works. We should refuse to agree that this is a country where certificates are forged and it is okay. We should refuse to accept a situation where elections are rigged and you are told to go to court. These things have consequence. These things have consequence. Jesus says, you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Accept that they have a heavy trust deficit. And nothing wrong with admitting that things when it didn't go so well. When I hear Professor Mahmoud on television, even yesterday, telling us that everything went perfectly well in January, I shed tears. He knows he was not telling the truth. If we don't tell the truth, we will not move forward. I'm a religious person and I keep praying to God to forgive us and to show us the truth. Because we can, if we tell the truth, things will move fast. Nigerians are wonderful. And I still hope that things will move fast. Whatever judges may decide, whatever courts may say, at the end of the day, the truth will make us free.